All right, Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to Lekman out there doing this work of faith and labor of love with true sincerity. All right, this is Brother Shalomah, here with another basic lesson, for brothers coming into the faith, to thoroughly understand what the valley of the shadow of death is. All right, and in order to understand that, we're going to get into break down the valley. We're going to get into the different types of shadows, and we're going to get into the shadow of death itself. Because like in the churches, when they quote in Psalms, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil and all that. They don't really have the proper understanding that they're just applying that to death itself. And they don't know that the shadow of death is a physical place, which is a representation, of America overall. And, that's the image or the picture that I hope to paint for you brothers, to have that understanding. So, Lord willing, this segment be edifying. All right. So, with that, to get into valley, the definition says an elongated depression between uplands, hills, or mountains, especially one following the course of a stream. Okay. I jump down, and the fifth definition for it says any place, period, or situation that is filled with fear, gloom, foreboding, or the alike. Okay, so what? When you're in the valley, what? You have mountains over you, you have hills, different streams, rocks, rivers, different things of that nature. And what? You're basically in a place or situation with fear and gloom. Okay, because you're terrified when you're walking through the valley. You're trying to get out up on the other side, and you have a lot of different obstacles that are trying to hinder you from getting to your destination. You have different rocks and things that could fall down from the mountains, possibly crush you, crumble you, different creatures that may be in the valley that you've never seen before, different things of that nature, different rivers or streams that you may have trouble getting through or getting over to get to the next point. It's always going to be something along that path to try to trip you up, man. All right? So, and that's exactly how it is here in America. The system of the so-called white man, they set up different things, to try to get us trapped up and caught up in their web, man. Okay, that's why the word system goes into the word sis, which actually means pit. Okay, because they have us in that trap. They have us stuck within this narrow-ass valley where we have to keep trying to maneuver to try to find our way, and that's why Jake gets lost unto this day, But going into the first scripture, this is 1 Samuel 13:6. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves and in thickets and in rocks and in high places and in pits. Right? So the people saw that what? They were in a strait, they're in a position of difficulty, and they were, basically messed up in the spirit. They were distressed. So what? They hid themselves in different places, the caves, the thickets, the rocks, and the high places. So like when you're in the, think of when you're in a physical valley, and some rocks may come tumbling down, you may see them coming. So what you're going to try to do, you're going to try to hide yourself, okay, amongst a place where you can find a safe haven temporarily until those rocks overpass, and then you could come out and you can move on. And then what? Later on is going to be some other obstacles, so on and so forth. That you're going to have to maneuver through. All right, and hiding yourself, that kind of goes into the shadow, which we're going to touch on a little bit later. All right, but the next scripture, that I have is it's Lamentations 1:3. All right, and it says, Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen; she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. So what? All the persecutors, all the people of the other nations, they took us between the straits. They took us when we were in our most vulnerable and difficult situations, at moments when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, temporarily took his protection away from us. Okay? Because the other nations knew that whenever we strayed away from the Most High, that it was their opportunity to come up into power and to take us down. Okay? And the other nations knew that. All right? And to illustrate that, this is Jeremiah 50:7. It says, all that found them have devoured them. Well, all the nations. Okay, and what? When we were on the west coast of Africa, you had our top three enemies, these Edomites, the Hamites, And these Ishmaelites, what they devoured us. They came and grabbed us up off the west coast of Africa. Okay, and their adversaries said, "We offend not." So the other nations said, "We don't offend by doing this. We're not doing no wrong." Okay, but why is there saying it? It says, "We offend not because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers." So the other nations, they knew whenever we were going off, that was their opportunity to come against us. They said, "We not offending." You know, they basically knew that the Lord was going to let them, take us because we were going off. And that's the time in which they seized us, and they thrived on seizing us, man. That's why in today's society, what the so-called white man wants to keep us away from our true and living power, man. All right. So the other nations knew that. Okay. So to get back to Lamentations, all right, I'm gonna read this again. It says, "Judah is going into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen; she findeth no rest." And what here in America, what we dwelleth among the heathen, and what we find no rest. Going into, Micah 2:10. "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Okay, what we are departing spiritually, we're departing mentally, you know, and not being under, the mind frame of these Edomites and being Americanized, man. Staying true to our heritage. Okay, it says, "Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the show of destruction." Right. So this is letting you know that what because the point is what that we're talking about the valley, you know, that what in this valley you're not going to find any rest because it's going to constantly be things to trip you up and to trap you and to get you to go off. So the same thing right here where it says what she dwelleth among the heathen and findeth no rest. And Micah 2:10 is what in reference to prophetic times, which is today, which is why we're dwelling here in America, man. We're showing you that America is that valley. Okay. So going on, it says all our persecutors overtook her between the straits. And when you go into the word straits, the word straits is Matazarium, okay, which is the word for Egypt. Egypt in Hebrew is Matazarium, which means straits. Okay, what in America is modern day Egypt, which also represents what straits that position the difficulty, our hardship, our bondage here, our servitude here. Okay, so these straits, these valleys, this is America. All right. So to go further on, okay, I have fear. All right, let me click down some of these tabs. All right, yeah, I have fear. This is Ezekiel 37. I start at verse 1. "The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry." So so keep in mind what Ezekiel saying what the valley full of bones. Okay, well we've established that America is that valley, and what and the bones were very dry. Okay, so with that going into this Revelations, that's like Revelations 11 and 8. All right, for a quick example. Okay, "And their dead bodies shall lie." Okay, what those dead bodies? What is synonymous? What with those the valley of dry bones? Okay, Ezekiel saw them as dry bones. Down here it says what dead bodies is giving a reference to the same fact. All right, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city." Okay, that great city, what is America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, homosexuality and everything. What here is modern day Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Because this is the only spot where we lost our true the identity of who we truly are, and we lost the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, our true and living power. Okay, so the dead bodies, all right, it's the same as going into what Ezekiel, what those dry bones being caught up in the valley. Okay, so that's all in reference what to here in America. All right, so jumping back, this is Ezekiel 37, and hit verse 9. It says, "Then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live." Okay, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Right, so the Most High told Ezekiel to go out and prophesy, and and that the Lord would what put breath in these slain. And when we go out there, we're the mouthpieces of the Lord. So the Lord is speaking through us. So through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, He's using us to put the breath in them. But it's the Lord that is ultimately open their mind and open their understanding unto this truth. Okay, because the Most High is that breath, because He is wisdom and He is everywhere. Okay, omnipresent. All right, and this is Wisdom of Solomon 7:24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. What? That's that breath. Okay, for she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. Right? So the Most High, He is that breath. So when He told Ezekiel to go out there and prophesy, and when we're out there prophesying, we're breathing breath into our brothers to wake them up, because the Lord is speaking through us. Okay, so when we're speaking, we have the breath of the Most High within us. All right, because we are what a physical attachment unto the Lord. Okay, the Lord borrowed from His Spirit to make us. Okay, that's why we're so alike and so in tune with the Most High, because He is our Father and we are His children. Okay, because He borrowed from His Spirit to make us, so we have that breath, of the Most High dwelling within us when we speak out there prophesying and when we're doing these lessons, to feed each other, through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. All right, so I'm gonna read verse 10 again. It says, "So I prophesied as He commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived." All right, and what? And they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. What? We're standing up on our feet, an exceeding slowly but surely, an exceeding great army now, because what? The 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe of the nation of Israel is rising. Every single day, brothers is waking up, you know. So what? And it says what? The key point I want to hear here is what? And they lived. Now going into what? Hosea 6 and 1. All right, it says, "Come and let us return unto the Lord, for He hath torn and He will heal us. He hath smitten and He will bind us up." Right? Because what? Going into Jeremiah 17:4, we shall discontinue from our heritage. So the Lord, He torn us, but He's going to heal us. All right, and now what? We're returning unto the Lord, as it says right here, okay? In verse 2, it says, "After 2 days, He will revive us." What revive meaning what? Basically, you're living again, as going back into Ezekiel. It says, "In the third day, He will raise us up, and we shall live in His sight." Now, going back right here, what? "So I prophesied as He commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army." All right, and it said what? In the third day, He will raise us up, and we shall live in His sight. So that third day is now, because from the time that our Lord Yahweh Shai was crucified, from that day to the year 1000, that was one day. Because the scriptures say what? A day to the Lord is 1,000 years. So from the year 1000 to 2000, that's 2 days. Now we're past the year 2000. So what? We're in that third day. Okay, so now the Lord is reviving us and He's waking us up. And sometime in the midst of this third day, which is very near upon us, the Lord is going to deliver us, and we're going to fully rise up as an exceeding great army. And we're doing that slowly but surely now. Okay, so with that pretty much illustrates America being the valley. Okay, so now what? We're going to get into the fact of the shadow. Okay, and there's different types of shadows. All right, and to illustrate that, precept I got is Psalms 91 and 1. All right, it says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." All right, "I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee." Okay, what a shadow does, a shadow covers you. All right, "He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler." Right, so a shadow, a shadow is basically what? A representation of protection. Okay, like someone shadowing over you. Okay, what? The Most High shadows us through His Spirit and through us abiding within His truth and abiding in His laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Okay, so that's the shadow in which we're trying to be under, we're trying to have help from and succor from in the times of Jacob's trouble, in the times that's about to befall us. We're trying to have the shadow and that protection of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay, now, the other shadow is basically what? The shadow of this world. All right, and this Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. Okay, so our people is not trying to hide in the shadow of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? It says, and that cover, what they're covering, what? That's a shadow. A shadow, what is a covering? But not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin, sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. So our people, they're seeking in the ways of America and not seeking from, the men of the Lord, that have the true knowledge. They're not seeking through the Bible. They're not seeking through the scriptures. Okay, a way out. All right. To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So our people trust in America. They trust in oppression. They trust in the society before they trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So thoroughly they're covered with the shadow of Egypt, the shadow of America, their philosophies, their democracy, their doctrines, and all their propaganda, man. So you have two types of shadows. You have the shadow, the protection of the Most High. You have the shadow of this world, which is basically covered in the wickedness of America, because America is the most sinfulest kingdom and the top kingdom upon the face of the earth right now. Okay? So that's the two different types of shadows. So you're either with righteousness or wickedness. The shadow of death, which is America, or the shadow and the protection of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. All right? So just a few more precepts, to before I end this lesson. All right, and this is Job chapter 10, verse 21 and verse 22. All right, and it says, Job 10 and 21. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. All right, now what does it say? We're gonna bring this back. Before I go, whence I shall not return. Now, what does it say in Deuteronomy? Okay, it's Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Oh, slacky, I spelled that wrong. All right. Yeah, it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Okay? And Job said, what? From whence I go, I shall not return. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So we all know that what? This is in reference to America. Okay? Our greatest captivity. So going back to Job 10 and 21, before I go, whence I shall not return. So what? We're not returning back unto our homeland, okay, until what? The Lord destroys this place, and the kingdom is going to be established, okay? So we're not going to be returning to our homeland, and if, brothers who try to do that and try to put yourself over there, you're basically going against prophecy, because we have no business over there right now. Because the Lord basically said that what? We shall not see it no more. We shall not see our homeland again until the kingdom, okay? So before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. Okay? A land of darkness as darkness itself, and the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. So what? Another precept, Deuteronomy 28, and start at verse 65. All right, it says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt not have assurance of thy life. So what? Every day out here, Jake is getting killed left and right. From the chemtrails been in the air. That's what us not having assurance of our life, because these chemtrails slowly but surely are deteriorating our bodies, is killing us. These GMO foods, they're killing us. You know what I'm saying? The hand of the so-called white man, they're killing us. They're setting our people up in different ways to kill them, in ways that they don't even know about it. You know what I'm saying? Day in and day out, putting drugs and guns in the hood. For Jake to kill each other, they're setting us up. so that what our life will constantly hang in doubt before us, and we will fear day and night. And what, going back to the definition of valley, what did the fifth one say? Any place or period or situation that is filled with fear, gloom, foreboding, or the alike. Okay, so that's what that's in reference to. Okay, we having no assurance of our life, and we're being what, in a shadow of death. A constant shadow and a reminder that we can die any given moment, man. That is death all surrounding us while we're trapped in the ghettos and the hoods of America. Okay, uh, yeah. In the morning thou shalt say, "Would God it were evening," and at evening thou shalt say, "Would God it were morning." For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. All of the things that we see, what I'm saying, it's just constant hell, man. And we're wishing for the days to go by, so on and so forth, so that we can get up out of this captivity, man. You know? So going back to Job 10 and 21 again, before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and of the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, where the light is as darkness. And it says what? Without any order. And with that, to show that this place doesn't have any order. It said what? A land without order. This is Isaiah. It's like I hit the wrong thing. Isaiah 10 and 1. All right. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And what? That's America. They write unrighteous decrees. They write certain laws in the past, and then what? If people find a way, that you could get around this law, they write a extra law over top of that, man. Or they will write an extra law on top of the law that they created for themselves, to create a loophole for themselves that they can get past the law, and they can surpass the law, and they can do more harm unto you, man. All right. So another illustration is Psalms 94 and 20. All right, it says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?" That's what these devils do. They frame mischief by law. Okay, and without law, what? You have disorder. There's no order. Okay, and what? Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he deals with order according to 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let everything be done decently and in order. But here in America, there is no order. It's just wild and it's lawless. Okay, so it says in Job 10 and 22, "A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness." Right? The truth is as darkness to the people, because when we're out there prophesying, what? They look at what we have as, oh, we're trapped, we're lost, we don't know what the hell we're talking about. But we have the true light of Yahweh Shem Yahushai upon us, man. All right? And this is just two more precepts. It's like it. Yeah, I have Isaiah 9 and 2. All right, and it says, "The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light." So what? We walked in darkness. What? When we're in captivity, we're still in captivity, but through the slave trade and through us being in the beginning stages of here in America, we were in darkness. No, but the Lord has led us to see that light when He awoken us and let us come across this truth. Now our brothers are waking up and we seeing that great light, and now we're into the truth. So we're dwelling within the light. All right. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, what? America, having that constant fear and that fear and that doubt, Slakia, that death is constantly looming over us, and that any given day we can be up out of here. Okay, that they that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them have the light shined. So what? The truth is shining upon what? The men of the Lord now, what? To rise up again, an exceeding great army, as it it goes back into what? Ezekiel 37. All right. So the final precept I got here is Job 12 and I believe it's verse 22. Yeah, Job 12 and 22. "He discovereth deep things out of the darkness." Okay, what? Because in America, things are hidden. The truth of who we are really hidden. The Lord, how His image of the Lord look is hidden. Okay, the name of the Lord is what? Hidden. All truth is hidden here in America. So He discovereth deep things out of the darkness, okay, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. So the Lord, through the different edification, the different the archaeology and all that. He's discovering all of those things and pulling them out and let the elect use them to find out the truth. And it says what? And bringeth out to light the shadow of death. Meaning what? He bringeth out to light that America is truly the shadow of death. Okay? So the Most High brought, while we're here in this darkness, we're here in the depths of America. The Lord brought things out of the darkness. He put light here. He put the light back in the brothers, starting with, Albert Bivens and, the Apostles of Great Millstone on down. You know what I'm saying? He shined a light here, and now he's bringing that light forth out of the darkness, man. He put Yahweh Shai's word back, the word back into us, and he's bringing us out of that death. Okay, spiritually, first and foremost, before anything. So he discovereth deep things out of darkness and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. And what that shadow of death is America. And he brought us to the fact that America is that shadow of death, and we have to escape here mentally, first and foremost, before we have the physical deliverance from this place, man. You know? So, with that, I just hope this lesson was edifying. I hope I didn't ramble on too much or anything of that nature. But I hope this lesson was edifying for you brothers to thoroughly understand, what the valley of the shadow of death is, and break it down, valley and the shadows and the shadow of death itself. All right. So, with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to Lekman out there doing this work of faith and labor with love and true sincerity. Shalom and death to America.